Over the last few segments, we've been learning about what the urban forest is and its importance in and around our cities. The future and the health of urban forests is largely determined by the way that we manage our landscapes. This is everything from public roads, parks, schoolyards, naturalized areas, as well as our own front and backyards. In order to ensure that we're protecting and enhancing the urban forest, it's important to understand what the current threats to it are. The best person I can think of to talk to us about these threats is Janet McKay, the Executive Director and founder of LEAF. For the past 15 years, Janet has been working with community groups, individual homeowners, and policymakers to help tackle some of these threats and make informed decisions as well as policies. Janet, what do you think are some of the current threats to the urban forest?
Well, certainly development in urban areas is a big one. Also, creating and enforcing protection policies for urban forestry is a difficult endeavor, and exotic pests are also quite a threat and have been most recently had some fairly devastating effects on the urban forest.
Tell us a little bit more about those.
Well, we travel all over the world now. It's a daily occurrence. People are coming and going everywhere, and we're going to get some hitchhikers, and that's what we've gotten. They're insects, pests. They've evolved somewhere else. We've intervened. We've moved them over here.
Right.
Here in this ecosystem, they don't have any natural predators. Two examples of that we've been dealing with recently have been Asian longhorn beetle and emerald ash borer. Now, both of those pests thrive here. They're able to reproduce very quickly and move, and when they do, they kill many trees in their path.
In Lesson 4, we're going to go through and teach individual homeowners how they can help protect their trees in their backyard during small construction projects around the home. Janet, you mentioned large development processes. How are these impacting our urban forests?
Well, if you look at the way that new developments are constructed today, everything that's there is usually removed. So any existing forest cover, existing mature trees are taken away. They're destroyed for the most part. Then the topsoil is usually removed and the land is regraded. So what you end up with is basically subsoil left. The construction proceeds, so you have heavy machinery running over that subsoil and compacting it further. Once the construction is done, they usually replace a couple inches of topsoil and then sod. So from the exterior, it looks like a nice green rolling grass. Other individual stresses in an urban environment include not enough growing space, improper pruning, vandalism, pollution, road salt, and lack of proper care and maintenance.
Janet, you've just taken us through two of the major threats, pests as well as development practices. And the story came to mind of a friend that actually recently moved into a newly built suburb. And they're going through urban forest withdrawal. They say they don't see any birds or butterflies in their backyard, and they really miss seeing squirrels kind of jumping about, and they can't even tell. They say they can't even tell if it's windy because there's no leaves or nothing brushing through the yard. So what can be done to ensure a healthy future urban forest?
Well, we can do a lot. So let's take a walk and I'll give you some ideas. So there's a lot that you can do in a small urban yard.
Okay.
You don't need a lot of space. Here's a good example. So this is a fairly small front yard. They've planted a couple of trees. They've got an evergreen, they've got a honey locust here. And below that, they've got a nice naturalized garden area. It doesn't have to be a lawn. You can have a lot of diversity and provide a lot of habitat for pollinators, butterflies, and other insects.
So Janet, what's the difference between a hard surface versus a softer, more permeable one?
Not only does this prevent oxygen and water from getting down, it actually directs the water directly down to storm drains like this. So the rainfall that we do get in the city is often falling on hard surface and rushing right down into those storm sewers.
And never getting to the trees.
Never getting to the trees.
That are already there.
And drought is actually one of the other big stresses that our urban forests face. So even when we get rain, a lot of it runs right off and down in the sewers.
Thanks, Janet. So you've brought up a few great landscaping techniques that we're actually going to go over with you in the next few chapters. And if you want any more resources about the urban forest, click on the links surrounding this video and you'll be able to find some fact sheets and some other websites to go to. When you're ready to take the next step, it's time for lesson 2. We're going to help you select the right tree for your yard and as well tell you the best place to plant it. Stick with us.